Yeah, yeah. Yes, my friends, what you guys are saying today, hope you guys are doing very well. It's a beautiful day today. Like, I had to even go outside for a bit. Of course, recharge, get some vitamin D. Sometimes when you do this YouTube job, right, it's just a very, like, you're indoors quite a lot. So you have to really, like, get yourself out there. Obviously, during transfer seasons like this as well, too, it's even more intense. Even more work has to get done. So, yeah, it's been a calm day. Obviously I released a video late last night. I kind of feel like I'm on zombie mode right now, but still standing at the moment, my guys. But it's great to see all you guys here right now. Let's go. How you guys are doing? How you guys are doing? You all good? We're over 300 people already. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, nice to see everyone here. Lots of familiar faces. I'm sure I'm going to see more familiar faces here too as well. Deep Nini. We're going to get Caicedo, Lavia, and Tyler, or just two or three? If so, which two? Part of me is thinking, would I be surprised if we bagged all three players right now? I don't think I would, my friends. I really don't think I would. But yeah, it's great to see everyone here right now. Everyone's just coming into the stream. I'll wait a little bit. Obviously, I want people to be able to have their questions answered by me. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've taken on board all the feedback you guys left me. I have to start doing more live streams this season, for sure, for sure. I know you guys really want to see this back a lot. Obviously, it's a good way to interact. Plus, I got a few more ideas for obviously, subscriber, viewer engagement as well too. I hate saying, I don't like saying fans. I feel like I'm not one of those guys that can, confidently say fans, because come on, we're all fans with the football club. Just because you guys watch me, obviously I appreciate that, cool. But I can't say that word. I can't describe you guys as fans, like viewers, subs. I'm a lot more comfortable with those types of words, to be fair with you. But obviously, yeah, Liverpool are a joke. Obviously, we're seeing that Liverpool now trying to come in late to try and get Caicedo. I'm very surprised to see if they can pull it off. Probably not. If anything, this is going to spur us on now to get this deal secured, because right now, Brian are looking to sell up by this week, yeah? So that's positive news in itself, my guys. But great to see all you guys here. I hope you guys have your questions ready for me. It's got a lot of questions. I can tell I'm going to be talking quite a lot today. But nah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see. Can you make Prem predictions? Well, I'm hoping on releasing a Prem prediction video tomorrow. Obviously, every time I'm working on it, there's always news and other things to prioritize, the things I have to get done up, things I have to do. But obviously, I want to give my predictions for the season. I'm feeling quite optimistic about our chances this season. I mean, if the manager, if all the players are saying stuff like, we're here to win the title this season, you can't just say, you can't cap like that if there's nothing to back it up with, right? You can't do it like that unless the team really feels like, okay, we have enough quality and confidence to feel like we can challenge for the league title this season. So if these guys and the manager are feeling that, yeah, how can I not feel that same energy? You know what I mean? But yeah, great to see all you guys here right now. Is there any more time to waste? Probably not, to be fair with you. But have my first super chat at the moment. Joe Abdi, bro, appreciate that. I'm liking the color schemes on theme right now. A bit of gold here and there. Obviously, I'm looking to get these graphics done up on the live stream. A little bit of something quick just to do, stay in theme of this season. But obviously, I need to improve that a lot more. But anyway, Joe Abdi, nice to see you here. Nini, don't know, man. You think it gets done before week 1? In terms of Caicedo getting done up before the Liverpool game, I think that is very ambitious at this point in time. But a lot happens in 24 hours. I'm expecting there to be some more, big drops coming later this night, later this evening. And as we know right now, Brighton, they are getting ready to sell up. They need to sell. They need to start signing a replacement. I'm looking at the market right now. Who are they going to sign realistically? Obviously, Kudus kind of stalling heavily right now. I'm feeling optimistic about that. But for a club like Brighton that now have Europa League football, they have all this money they have from selling players. And if they are struggling to bring in quality to replace these guys who are leaving them, it's not ideal for them right now. So they have to sell up. This is the time right now for clubs to start making bids, getting it done. But as we've seen, we are more than happy to match whatever offer. We've waited too long for Caicedo to just allow him to go to Liverpool. We know how important he is for Enzo Fernandez. We need this guy in our team. And it's like, if you want to be winning league titles and really competing like that, you need quality players alongside there, man. Obviously, Caicedo, the things he's been doing with De Zerbi at Brighton, the build-up play, how he dominates and marshals that midfield, obviously how he plays the ball forwards. Like, we saw games in pre-season, yeah, where, let's say that Andre Santos wasn't playing, he got subbed off. We was leaving gaps in midfields. Like, I remember that Gordon just steamrolled through midfield quite easily. Very tame tackle from Enzo, but I'm not expecting Enzo to be Enzo times Caicedo at the same time. That's why he needs a partner alongside him, right? So I feel tactically, after we kind of messed up for guys like Ugarte as well too, it really is time now to make sure we get this guy secure for Pochettino. Like, we haven't got all his targets, but we're getting good guys for him. But this key player in Caicedo, we can't flop. We can't mess this up for him. But anyway, I got another super chat. David Fisher. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Sorry if you forgot to leave your question. I'm going to keep my eyes alert to see if you leave anything in the chat to make sure I prioritize. But of course, Joe, David, really appreciate the support, man. Means a lot. But let me go through some of the questions coming on screen right now. There's a lot of them. Nearly 700 people. Damn. Okay. I'm going to do my best here. Let me look at Qna. Who do we need to compete? Who do we need to complete a title competing team? That is a good question to start things off with, to be fair with you. Obviously, midfield, you guys been hearing what I've been saying about getting that partner for Enzo Fernandez. It has to be Caicedo. I need two players of that same ilk and standards playing together, supporting each other. I'm not accepting anything less. I don't want any tier 2, tier 3 options. I need my number one guy in Caicedo. I'm looking at Mohamed Kudus. I just think that his ability to play on the left, on the right, up front if we need to, as a 10, as a midfield player. The quality he has, the guy's a match winner. And I feel like when you go for certain players like Kudus, you have to go for guys that have that potential and ability to really be game effectors. I've seen a lot of this guy. Obviously, we all saw him during the World Cup. And normally when players announce themselves like that in international tournaments, it gives you like the perfect type of signifier behind the quality these guys have, what they're about, what to expect, how they perform under pressure, how they handle that as well too. And he's one of those guys where the bigger the occasion, the more pressure he has. Like, he's clear. He's just going up, 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 up. So Kudus, Caicedo, two important players that I think we definitely need, especially with Nkunku being out. I don't want to commit to a striker. I'm aiming for Broja and then Nkunku to come back. There could be games where Kudus might even have to do that job up front, and he's done that very well for Ajax at the same time. So for me, Kudus and Caicedo are the main two. Anything else, like a Lavia or whatever, I think that's a nice addition. I'm not desperate for that. I need those two key guys to come through. And for me, that's Kudus and Caicedo at this point in time. Make it happen. Obviously, I would have been very happy with like a Diogo Costa from FC Porto. I think this guy would be phenomenal with us, like another big game, important player. But listen, there's going to be other windows. We're probably going to buy more guys. We're Chelsea Football Club. When do we not buy someone? That's just how it kind of works with us. So I'm hoping that Costa will be that guy in the future windows. Because this guy at the back, I was talking to my dad about like the potential of this team, how we're shaping up. Like, we've done a few team rebuilds before, right? We haven't had like peak success, and I don't want to get too gassed because we haven't played any games yet. You don't know how things are going to be, but normally pre-season's a great signifier of what to expect, right? And if we keep hearing these positive vibes from like the team, the squads, the players, they're not going to say that for no reason. Like, we didn't hear none of that stuff last season, right? So for me, I think it's very simple. I feel like these guys feel ready, that they are capable to do something in the team right now. And the way we're building this team, like, it's giving me a little bit of like Real Madrid type of vibes. Because, I've always kind of seen us as like the Atletico Madrids of like big clubs, in the sense that a lot of our success comes from working hard, like really like suffering, doing stuff off the ball. But I feel the players we're signing, a lot of these guys are very comfortable playing in them by themselves. They press resistance, they can carry the ball. They're very fluid, interchanging positions as well too. Like, we don't tend to sign many players like that, let alone nearly like a whole squad that is capable of doing something like that. Like, obviously, when I see like the very greats, like a Real Madrid's, you know, Modric, Cruz, all these guys, just like how they have that sense of understanding of each other's game, right? You know, the combination plays, obviously, you know, the pattern building, the fluidity. These are things that you don't necessarily coach. Like, you reinforce this type of stuff in training, right? But you can't coach something like that. And I think at Chelsea, going back to my Atletico Madrid example, we've had a lot of success with managers that have like really strict rules behind you do this here, there. I want you to do X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? Obviously, Pochettino will encourage certain patterns and movements that he wants to see more of. But he also understands, listen, I've got quality players here. I can't give these guys 110 instructions. I have to create that platform for these guys to be able to play their football and to be able to, you know, really express themselves within the constraints of a system that supports how they want to play. And this is why I'm getting a bit excited, because obviously we're signing these guys and we're all like starting at level 1 basically. But imagine your Gustos and Co in like 2-3 years time, the type of football we could be playing, the type of guys we're signing. I feel like it's some of the most exciting stuff we've been seeing in God knows how long. And as fans, we have a lot of exciting moments, right? But my lords, the excitement right now in terms of the future of this team, how he could play, how he could actually be challenging to win games, not always like counter-attack, defending, and actually creating a 25-man squad that is capable of playing football like this. Come on, man. How can I not start dreaming? How can I not think about the future? But I know I got a few super chats to go through. I just wanted to give you my, obviously, long-winded answer, but got a few questions here. Wow, again, thank you to everyone showing love and support. Of course, if you guys want your questions prioritized, super chats the way forward. But Christian, yes, Christian, been too long, bro. Brother, we have to link up this season for sure. Like, I've been awful. Obviously, I don't even want to talk about YouTube right now, but it is one of those jobs, especially doing football related stuff, where you sacrifice a lot of personal time. Like, by the time you finish for the day, you're just like zombieing up, you're just zoning out, you're just getting ready to start another day. And there's been times where I'm taking breaks, or there's like issues in life or other priorities that come through. But I've been doing this for a while now. I'm just thinking, I need to try and find like the perfect like workflow. I need to start trying to obviously live my life outside as well too, right? So bro, for sure, man. I feel like I think this season has to be the season we link up Christian. So yeah, appreciate that, man. Paul, what are you saying, Paul? Thank you for the videos. Yeah, thank you for watching them and still enjoying them. Obviously, I'm gonna improve a lot with the clapping in these videos. It's literally just like it's just like a bad force of habit. I've done it for so many years. It's just like ingrained in me. It's like bad code in me right now. But I appreciate that, man. Gianni, yes, Gianni, how you doing? Nini, it's been too long, bro. I've missed these live streams. Who do you think we bid for? Lavia, knowing Tyler Adams was done, and we still want Caicedo. I've got a little bit of a theory on Lavia. Let me get back to you on that one, because I just want to answer Kanish's question first. Love from Toronto. Do we really need Lavia and Adams both? Okay, you know what, you guys' questions kind of like linking together. I'm seeing it like this, you guys, yeah? We need to sell players. We can't forget that. Obviously, the difference between this season and last season is that guys with surplus requirements are not even training with us. They're doing their own thing outside the club in different groups. You know what I mean? We have to get money for guys like Lukaku, Ziyech, looking at Hudson-Odoi. And obviously, we've known for a long time, Conor Gallagher, Trevor Chalobah, realistically, they're probably going to be leaving us together. And you look at the money we could be potentially generating. I mean, look, I don't even want to forget maybe Kepa leaving as well too. So we're going to have some tidy money to play with. But let's not forget that we have literally like a few more weeks now until the window ends here. So the last situation we want to be in, as we've been in similar situations, is you've kind of finished your squad. You have all these guys to plus requirements. And it's just like, now you're at the mercy of the buying club, because they're going to pay the price they want to pay. And there's not much leverage that you have in these deals. So I'm kind of seeing it like this now, going back to Lavia. We made that 48 million bids. For me, it's like a delay tactic. For me, it's about alerting Lavia. We've been talking to you all year, you know that. Don't forget us. We haven't forgotten you, yeah? Obviously, Klopp's talking that sweet talk in your ear. But we have a place for you, but it's about timing. And we haven't been ready to make that right time to place that bid for you. So going back to what I said about having to sell players first, now that you've offered 48 million, purposely 2 million short compared to the 50 million that Southampton want, you know this knowing the fact that now Lavia, he's going to have second thoughts now. He won't just immediately prioritise Liverpool. Liverpool have been very strict. 45 million is the most we want to pay for. And the fact that we have come in right now to raise that figure up, creating that little bidding war right now, they're not going to like that. No, they're not going to be happy. Because they're also playing the waiting game for themselves, thinking as time goes on, no competition, can Southampton really get the 50 million they're hoping for? Probably not, right? So as I'm saying, I think this is a bit of a delay tactic right now. We have to prioritise the key guy, and that is Moises Caicedo. And Caicedo is for this week. This week it has to get done. We can't be wasting any more time right now. Once he's done, once one of the key signings is brought into the team, then we can start thinking about other additions then. And now that we've placed that 48 million bid, that gives us a little bit more time now. Because I think Lavia, he could be wrapped up on deadline day, in my opinion. He doesn't have to come in right now. You know, Caicedo is more important. Who knows if he uses Gallagher for like a week or two before he gets moved on or whatever. Same thing for other players. And then as you're getting closer, once you're getting sales going through, you come in to satisfy whatever fee that Southampton wants. And obviously, hopefully, again, because it falls down on Lavia. Who knows if Klopp has really persuaded him, listen, Liverpool's the club to come to. We don't know right now. But obviously, the fact that we are coming in finally with concrete bids and efforts to sign him, that changes everything right now. And obviously, you know, Joe Shields is here. He's tried desperately to bring him to this club for a very long time. It's all about, you know, when it comes to signings, it's about strategy and timing. You know, clubs want to sign for their prices at the end of the day, right? It's very rarely you see a club satisfy the demands that the selling club wants, unless they really have to, unless they're desperate, unless there's competition. But ideally, you're not trying to buy for the price that the club's trying to sell for. So I think Lavia, I find this very interesting. I guess you're thinking about the shape and future of our midfield, right? You're looking at guys like, you know, what's his name? Guys like, you know, Gallagher going out. You're looking at Santos now. You're looking at Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Tyler Adams. That's 5 midfield players of very good quality. And if you can add someone like a Kudus on top, you know what I mean? Someone that can also play in mid if ever had to get to that level. I think 5 midfield players of quality like that is all we need for a season without European football. And that gives us a good platform to then like take things forward, right, and see what we can do. So that's my opinion behind what is happening surrounding Romeo Lavia. I don't know. I could be talking absolute cap. But I've been covering so many stories over the years, reading so many articles. Just like you pick up on a few things, right? Like if you're like really having to like read this stuff like religiously all the time. So yeah, that's my take on Lavia. But I think right now, man, Moises Caicedo is the priority that we have to get done and secured up right now. But I've got another super chat, or I think I just kind of made it. Yes, I do have one. Also, appreciate that, bro. Proud of you, Nini. You took the Twitter feedback well, and I'm already seeing the improvements. Love the channel, my G. Bro, it's obviously as I'm getting older too. You gotta like control your emotions. And I'll put my hands up, yeah. There's been certain times I kind of feel like I've acted kind of dumb on social media. Just being bare naive, bare silly, bare heated. You're just taking out your frustration online, right? You shouldn't be doing that, obviously. Lessons learned and stuff like that. But I mean, it really comes down to this. Like, obviously, if you guys are taking out some of your time and your life to be watching me, and you're coming back and stuff like that, like, it's not about me. End of the day, right? It's about what makes the experience better for you guys. What do you like? What more do you want to see? You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's very easy to get stuck in like a pattern of just only doing things one way. And then obviously when you have like deadlines or whatever to run up, you can kind of get stuck in that cycle, right? So it's like, nah, let me actually find out what the viewers and subs are saying. Let me try and see, you know, what feedback I can take. I took a lot of notes. I created like a little words type of like, not spreadsheet, like a words document, collecting all the opinions and advice and stuff like that. And obviously I'm looking to do things a bit different. Like, I don't just want to be doing like news videos and reviews and the same stuff all the time. Like, there's a lot of things I like to explore. Like, I've always wanted to do more like tactical things, more like investigative pieces on players. You know, I want to talk about guys like, you know, like Eden Hazard. Like, in the future, if there's going to be a fan 10 years from now who never saw Eden Hazard in their life, I want to be that channel where it's like, okay, who is this guy that I keep hearing about all the time? I want to be like a bit of a time capsule so fans can come back and see, okay, this is like the guy who contributed to our history. This is what this guy was really about. that's how his game really was. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I kind of feel like to start doing the stuff I want to do now, I need to start fine tuning up, basically. You know what I mean? So yeah, appreciate all the support, all the super chats and the love so far. Sean Kenner, Nini the Legends. Any word on Elise? Caicedo a must, bro. Caicedo is priority number one right now. Just don't waste it. Don't even focus on Lukaku. Keep this guy in the sidelines for now. Get Caicedo secure. That is the important thing. But in terms of Elise, it's always come down to this. He's currently injured. Obviously, was trying to get confirmation behind this release clause. Reports state that it's a little bit more than the 35 million in which like Elise originally signed this deal with Crystal Palace. So I think Elise could be one for the future. At least he knows that our interest is there. But you know, if we had to wait for him, we could. He's not going anywhere right now. So yeah, I just think priorities right now, they're the focus, bro. But going back to answer some other questions now. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Okay. Check Caicedo news. All right, cool. Let me see what Twitter's saying right now. Let me see. Obviously, I've got Twitter up. Hopefully, there's going to be nothing incriminating. Like, I mean, I'm really praying so, to be fair. Like, you can't trust that site sometimes. But, I mean, I'm looking forward to start covering some of the games now, to be fair with you. Liverpool, the build-up for the Liverpool games is out of this world right now. Obviously, the fact that we're doing business together to try and get things secured up, it's going to be tense for both clubs. We're in a similar situation where both clubs haven't reinforced how they want to yet in midfield. But, yeah, it's cool. Okay, how many goals will Nicholas Jackson score in the Premier League this season? I'm going to ask you guys this right now for the chat. How many goals do you think Nico is getting this season? Over 10, over 15, over 20? Over 25. Okay, maybe we're starting to get a little bit ambitious with that. Surely it's over 15 goals, right? That's my opinion. Over 15 goals. Hopefully, provided he's not injured throughout. But 15 goals minimum. I think I saw enough from this guy to know that this is like the striker for this system. Like, this is Pochettino's striker. And the fact that Poch is like, please, leave Vlahovic in the bin. Okay, it's a bit rude, but leave Vlahovic there. You know what I mean? I feel like Pochettino knows what type of striker he has on his hands right now. But what else is happening on Twitter? Okay, we got news now. Okay, so everyone was kind of being a bit, you know, sticking it on Matt Law a little bit. I felt like it was a bit too premature. Like, Matt Law's been doing this for so long that we can't just dismiss this guy just like that, because a few accounts on Twitter are maybe getting a bit too big for their boots. As we're seeing right here, Liverpool could hijack Caicedo. It seems they do have the funds in place. Should they be given a chance to land him? Interesting times, but we still have the advantage right now. We still have that working in our favour. Okay, the links are actually working. Apologies for that. Liverpool showing late interest. Oh, it's getting tense now. But it's getting exciting at the same time, right? Good. If this forces us to try and get something secured right now, it is what it is. Liverpool are thinking, you're trying to get us for Lavia, we can get you back as well too. Like, they've also had long-term interest in Caicedo, but we've put in a bit more groundwork, I feel, that gives us that advantage right now. Liverpool could offer him more money, but I still feel the package we have. And I also think, maybe I'm getting a bit too ahead, but knowing the fact that Kendrick Paez, I mean, the teenager, bro, doing bits in the Copa Libertadores, like, having two of Ecuador's potentially like best players playing in the same team, like, sometimes it's about the sporting legacy. Sometimes, like, we've all seen The Last Dance on Netflix. I actually saw that quite late. I missed the whole wave during lockdown, but I saw it eventually. It's just like, we forget sometimes that you have to look back fondly at these moments, right? And it's just like the storylines, the moments, the legacy you create. And I kind of feel like Caicedo comes for us. It'll be a better legacy compared to being at Liverpool, in my opinion. I feel like we literally have the role, position for him in this team. London, legacy, all that stuff. So I'm feeling optimistic still. Good. Liverpool, yeah, competition. Come on. Bro, it's Chelsea Football Club. We compete all the time. It's nothing new. We got to compete in the window. So be it, my guy. Anyway, Twitter just sometimes. Like, I actually messed up a bit where I took a photo from Twitter, and you have to remember that people will cap all the time just to be able to get a few interactions, right? But anyway, what's this guy saying? Caicedo having dinner in London tonight. His shirt is Balenciaga. His shoes are Dior. And he's afraid to wear those things in Liverpool. Oh my god. Maybe it's a bit of a mistake to have Twitter on right now, right? Nah, I'm sorry. Twitter, like, it's one of the funniest places on the internet. I'm sorry. It actually is one of the funniest places. But let me go back to answering some of your questions again, you know, before something happens and I'm just like, yeah, the stream gets done up. But what's everyone saying? Brother, fab tweet, Fabrizio with a banger, yeah? Cool. Mr. Fab, please. I hope you're going to feed me good tonight, man. Fabrizio, what do you have in store? What do you have in store, Fab? Okay, Fabrizio, what are you saying, bro? What do you have in store? Okay, Neymar, boom, bye. Understand, Brighton want to resolve the Caicedo saga tonight. Brighton have been clear, selling to the highest bidder. Liverpool will challenge us there and also send formal proposals to Brighton. Official bids will be there. You know, I've been getting a few comments from people saying, Neely, like, why do you keep talking about Caicedo? And I think to myself, am I supposed to ignore this? Am I supposed to ignore the updates? But I'll be honest with you, I'm actually happy that finally it will come to an end because it's been dragging on a bit now. But maybe we should thank Liverpool for actually making Brighton speed things up right now. But now it has to get done. Like, it has to get done. It has to get done. Oh, okay. Finally. Nah, this is like one of the moments of the window so far. Like, nah, I'm going to keep the dancing once we secure the deal. I'm not going to start getting carried away. Like, you never know what happens in football. But Brighton tonight, they are ready now to end this saga. It's dragged on for too long right now. Way too long. But, bro, it's getting positive, man. It's getting positive right now. Very reassuring. The only one guy I'm hoping for too, Mohamed Kudus. Please, Bowley, Ed Barley, whoever's listening to this, secure this man. Secure this man for the squad. If we add Kudus, bro, please, I'm telling you. Like, he even started pre-season off to a banger as well too. He's getting the goals, he's getting the assists. You know, we're seeing the little skill comps online from what he's doing so far. Add this guy to the team and rub it in Brighton's faces even more, please. They need a player. Ziyech, this guy, don't even get me started on Ziyech, my God. Who would have foreseen that this was how his time here would end? But that's the game for you, right? But again, money, Ziyech, please. Kudus, Caicedo, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. But yeah, Captain Reece James. That's a moment, you know. Obviously, you guys who've been watching me for a long time, I've been seeing these guys. I mean, I was even at the games watching these guys play for the academy for Cobham at the time. And Reece James, Mount, a few of these guys. But Reece James too, I was thinking, this guy, he's going to be absolutely clear playing for us. And I couldn't wait for the fans to see. You know what it's like sometimes? I mean, now that I've got experience doing this online stuff, sometimes it's like, oh, you Cobham sexual, this, that. But, I mean, I'm standing for guys like flipping James, Matson, like actual ballers, Coble, Levi Coble. I was saying, you guys knew how pissed off I was last year with the whole Koulibaly thing, and even the thought of Coble leaving, I was like, we don't have serious decision makers at this club right now. If we can allow a talent like Coble to leave, and bro, fast forward 12 months, look how quickly the tunes changed right now. Let me go back to see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Got another super chat. Oh no, that's Sean Ken. I got another one. HCX merch. Brighton just want a bidding war this whole time. And they're getting one. They're getting one. And listen, I'm sorry. Certain players, you just have to overpay for it. If it comes down to that, we have to overpay. Because there's no one currently in the market right now. Tchouaméni is not going to be about. He'd be the only exception. If all of a sudden Tchouaméni, Madrid are like, okay, you know, this guy's about right now. What type of fees can we get for him? But that's not going to happen realistically. Madrid would be stupid to let Tchouaméni leave. And people keep forgetting, this guy was cooking first half of the season until he got injured. And at the time, latter half of the season, Madrid are fighting for trophies. You're not going to kill consistency. So Madrid know exactly who they were buying. You know what I mean? So please. Right now, there is no one in the market that good to be partnering Enzo Fernandez. And sometimes when you sign guys for over 100 million, You can't be giving these guys just like B tier options to play alongside. You know, great players also need to play alongside other great players. Yeah, that's the difference that separates clubs like us from your Europa League clubs and clubs at the bottom, right? So, for me, it's very positive times right now that Moises Caicedo getting wrapped up today. I guess I'm not sleeping. I feel like midnight, 11 p.m. drops are going to be coming, and it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a big day. Anyway, you guys, let me go through more questions. Sorry that I'm really not even getting time to go through the chat right now. My God, I feel like a bit of a pagan right now. But where do I even start? It's just like text after text. Christian, Nini, we all appreciate your work. Appreciate that, bro. It's Cammy. Nini, if you could only sign one, would you rather we spend 100 mil on Caicedo or 50? Caicedo. Sacre bleu. I feel like I'm going to have to start patting up my French with this season, you know, especially with all the guys that we've signed right now. But if City bid 100 million from Paqueta, then we have no excuse, for sure. 100%. I mean, good. I'm actually happy that Paqueta will be going to a footballing team. I mean, David Moyes, listen, obviously they won the Conference League. But, I mean, they signed guys like Skamak and Paqueta and co because the plan was to change the way they played. But you can't have a manager that's only known for doing one thing really well, and then you can start getting a team playing football like that. Like, it doesn't work. Like, it don't work like that. So, listen, Paqueta, I felt like West Ham should never even sign him to begin with. I don't know why Newcastle went all over that. Him and Bruno would have been mad. But, hey, listen, it's going to be a 10th season this season. Okay, Cliff. Who's the backup winger after Salim Madueke, Mudryk? That's a good point. I feel like an attacking player will also be an option. I feel like we need to probably get one more. Not necessarily a striker, because Breyer and Co are coming back. Obviously, we're not keeping Angelo at this point in time. But I think there's something cooking or something brewing. Like, come on, we passed all time agreements for Elise and then Kudus. Those reports came from Ornstein. It wasn't coming from some random guy on Twitter. Like, they won't exist for no reason, right? But as I'm really stressing, it's about the timing. That is what's really key right now. But let me just go back to, I don't know what happened there even. Okay, Liverpool should buy Lavia. K-Boss, Liverpool have no pull. Just your guys. They just want us to up the bid for Caicedo because we effed up with Lavia. That could be the play as well too. But listen, if they're forcing us to wrap him up today, does that mean on Sunday, Caicedo times Enzo in midfield? If that's the case, please, I'm fully here for that. And I'll thank Liverpool for that. Because I'm going to feel like we can get the 3 points against them on Sunday. So, win-wins in my opinion. Tyreek, I think we should go back with Felix. Oh, listen, you guys know, I've always liked Joao Felix. But, like, you know, sometimes when we sign certain players for our club, I feel like maybe some fans forget that these guys used to exist before us. Just because they don't always work out doesn't mean they were always flops all along, in my opinion. And obviously, I think Felix, the only thing that's just fumbled his career is that you went to the wrong manager and team. Like, you know, to use that style of player, it's Atletico Madrid are just you're gonna be off the ball. You want to wait for touches like every 2-5 minutes, and then by the time you get the ball, you're by yourself isolated. There's no other options. Like, I get what their thinking was, but it's kind of basic and simple in that sense, right? So I don't know what they were doing, to be fair. Yes, Wendy, how are you doing? It's always nice to see you in chats. Nini, do you think we've made a mistake in letting Tudor Mendo Adowu leave? You know, right now, I mean, we're so stacked. We are so stacked that at least we're not doing what we used to do before, where we're wasting these young guys' times. You know, just, you know, loans forever, loan here, there. I feel like we messed up our first golden generation of like your Rubens, your Christensens, you know, your Akis, your Borgers, Charlie Masunda as well too. Like, we had that first serious like breakthrough generation, and in my opinion, I still think they're the best youth team group that I've seen us produce right now, because the football those guys used to play, we're thrashing teams in finals. It's still the benchmark in my opinion. It's a shame that a lot of these guys didn't always go to the heights they should have, because, you know, this game ain't linear, right? Like, if these guys aren't going to get the career paths at the right time to properly develop. I mean, I look at Volga, for example. I mean, what sums them up? You go to Granada, they have full managers there that season. You get a loan move to flipping Birmingham City. You get 4 managers there that season. It's not conducive to actually harnessing your potential, right? So at least these guys, they're getting things right. They're not messing around. And listen, Adoru is best that he's getting first team football at 18. And let's see what happens. It's a long, long game. You never know what's going to happen. But anyway, let me answer some more questions. Simba, big up Nini, respect, bro. Heba, yes, Heba. Bro, is your secret sauce still available? You know what? I just not done any of the sauces stuff anymore. Like I got to a point on YouTube where I kind of felt like it's kind of redundant a little bit, you know? Like, you're going to get yourself obviously stuck on for a lot of things. Stories change so much as it is, and it's just like not really worth any of that stress. Yeah, I know a few other people do that, and we're seeing ourselves on Twitter, like sometimes a lot of these stories aren't coming to fruition. But from my experience, I know that it's not because they're lying, it's because it's just the nature of the beast. So it's just like, it's just not really worth doing all that stuff. I used to make videos, didn't make a difference in terms of views. Nah, it's not worth that type of stuff, to be fair, man. Carl Roberts, Nini, coming to the US for the Club World Cup. Ooh. It's actually my girl's birthday in January, and she's been pestering me about holiday, secure up holiday for my birthday. I swear Club World Cup, is it like January or February? I can't even remember right now. Awful of me. But I think realistically, I want to go to the States. I've never been to the States before, but I'd want to go for the World Cup. I'm definitely going to go to Germany for the Euros. I've been lucky enough to go to a few like international tournaments. Obviously, I was in Qatar for the World Cup as well too. Sick tournament. Accommodation a bit overpriced, a bit. I don't want to. I'm a bit of a cheapskate sometimes. Like that type of stuff pisses me off, right? But yeah, I think Germany next year I'm definitely there, and obviously America you'll see me of course when the World Cup starts. TT Drilly, Nini, are you from Ghana? Yes, half Ghanaian. I got a little bit of this and that. Obviously my dad's obviously white, half Scottish, half English. My mum's got a bit of Portuguese in her as well too, but obviously I don't know nothing Portuguese. It just feels even redundant even bringing it up. So I just say English and Ghanaian to be fair with you. Obviously my mum's Ga as well. So obviously I've been Accra a few times when I was younger. Not in a minute though. That's another place I need to hit. I'm actually thinking maybe next year, Christmas time. I feel like I might have to touch home. It's been a long time, Bro, I miss having banku and okra stew. That's probably my favourite meal. Banku, okra stew. Nah. Too much, man. Gianni, do you worry about Carney and Santos not getting the game time? And this is a very good question. I look at someone like a Carney and I think, the guy has the same type of talent that Mount had, but Mount broke through. And look how Mount benefited from having like a whole season of consistent minutes, right? Obviously, I look at the Lavia thing as a little bit of overkill, whereas, listen, I'll take him, but I'm not desperate for him. If he never signed him, so be it. And it's like, you could just utilize a Carnes in like an 8-role, give him that minute to develop. I mean, Andre Santos as well too, like, we spent nearly 100 million or over 100 million signing top quality team prospects. It's redundant to spend that type of money if you're not going to give them the game time. Like, you need to give them the game time. Like, they can't just potential their way into the first team without getting minutes. So I just hope that we aren't going to overkill things, to be fair with you. I feel like that's, I think Chukwuemeka was impressive during preseason. And it's like, those 2 shots that he had, the one where Sterling scored a goal and was it Gallagher that got the goal from a deflection? Maybe. I think it was those 2. If Khan's efforts went in the net, little small details like that will just change the entire impression around him, because then you think to yourself, because everything's about stats these days, right? 2 goals in pre-season? Let's go. And listen, Pochettino used him quite a lot in that Nkunku role. So I'd like to feel like, his trajectory won't get stifled. Obviously, maybe you're looking at 6 mids if it's going to be like a 4-3-3 thing. Of course, when Nkunku comes, things change up. But he can also play up front and anywhere, so it's not that deep. But if it is going to be like a 4-3-3, like, here's how I see it, yeah? Intensity is key. Like, intensity is the most key thing. And we're 5 subs in the Premier League. Guys who are coming on are going to need minutes. We got a lot of team guys. And the fact is they can get healthy amount of minutes whilst being heavily rotated. And I'd imagine that nearly every game, out of 5 subs, at least 2 of these subs will be midfield players coming on. So there is going to be lots of opportunities for rotation and minutes available. And realistically too, like every season we have 1 or 2 injuries. So I do hope that Santos and Cons really get those minutes to shine. If it meant that we don't really push through for Lavia, so be it. But maybe 6 mids of like the main 3 guys, Caicedo, base, Enzo on the right, maybe Lavia on the left hand sides. Then behind them you've got Santos, you know, you have QnA. Maybe Ugo Chukwu might stay. Maybe he might get a late loan move to Strasbourg in the end of the window, who knows. But I feel like I could see maybe an environment where they all kind of work together. That could be a possibility. And we know that Pochettino, he will give that youth guy 20 minutes at the end of the game. You'll get those opportunities, right? I mean, of course, I forgot Tyler Adams, who we're just waiting for the announcement right now. But Adams, Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Santos, and QnA, and maybe Ugo Chukwu getting a loan move. I could see that being the case as well, right? So yeah, let's see how it goes. But what else you guys telling me right now? Isaac, big up Nini. Watching from Ghana. Respect. Love your work. Graphics are always on point. Appreciate that, man. I just kind of feel like, you know what it is? Like, if I'm going to do YouTube, I just don't want to just be a camera in my face, nothing going behind the scenes. I feel like anyone could do that then. Like, if you're going to do YouTube, at least try and put a little bit of sauce into what you're doing, right? Like, anyone could just record themselves like that and put it out there. I just don't think... I think it's kind of easy, because it'll take you like literally less than an hour every day to do whatever. But I don't know. I'm just a bit of a perfectionist, I guess. Even though I'm not nowhere near being perfect with the channel. Let's keep it real. But anyway, Cassia Moses, Nini, what would be the best strategy of getting rid of Lukaku? Because everything but Giant isn't going through. We've been holding on to this Al Hilal offer behind the scenes. Like, that's not going nowhere. That's always the last resort. Obviously, let's see what happens with Harry Kane. Is he going to accept Bayern Munich's offer? I think people will stick it on Kane a bit too much. I kind of feel that with Harry Kane. Listen, Levy's made things very hard for him to move on. And it probably works in Kane's favour to leave on a free in the summer, where you're going to get a stupid signing on fee. You're going to have even more interest after you. You're going to earn even more money. And it's probably like, okay, then you can maybe break the record with Tottenham for 1 more year before you move on. Because, like, imagine getting that close to the records and then not beating it. I think that's also part of the sporting legacy. I mean, look at Alan Shearer. Like, he didn't win everything in his career, but he's remembered for the accomplishments, right? And I think that's also important as well, too, in the sport. So we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, let me go back to Twitter, actually. You guys, let's take a little bit of a pause. Any more updates coming through? Like, if there was some mad updates coming, I'll just be cancelling the stream right now, making a video. I'll maybe do like another stream later tonight. Who knows? But let's see what's actually happening right now, lads. Why didn't man like Vince? Why didn't Chelsea pay the 100 million before? It's not simple to pay whatever you're asked to pay without putting up a fight. Psychologically, clubs will see it as weakness and exploit it. I won't blame Chelsea for trying to get the best deal. I mean, you're right. I mean, like I said, why would you just do that? Bro, it's not like FIFA or Football Manager where we lack patience. Where, like, you know what, it's only a game. It doesn't really matter. Real life is a bit more... the consequences are there, right? In terms of the updates, though... Now, I'm here for this, though. I'm not feeling nervous. I'm not feeling nervous about losing him to Liverpool. That would be an absolute... I mean, if that was the case, wow. But I don't think we're there. I really don't think we're there right now. Yes, Will Rayner. 3 months of negotiations comes down to 1 evening. Yes, Will. Madness. Safe to say I'm breaking it. Bro, everyone on Twitter, like Chelsea fans, like on Twitter as well too, they just live to break it every single time. I mean, listen, I feel like we still have a lot of advantages here right now. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'm breaking it more because you haven't had the same advantages that we've had. You've not been talking to them. And let's not forget how we snapped up Robert Sanchez as well too. Like, we didn't have to do that. I think that gives us some more points in favour. And I guess it will come down to things like, payment structures and negotiations. Obviously, you'd like to think that deal for Robert Sanchez, knowing that Brighton have all these keepers that they're stockpiling right now, that is going to go towards helping us sign our guys. So Let's see how that goes. Okay, Grizz Khan. Liverpool set to make a record 95 mil bid for Moises Caicedo. Wow, like the fact, listen, I mean, it sums up the guy's quality, right? And Brighton, this is why they played the game they played. This is why they played it. I think we all kind of knew too that Caicedo was going to go right to the end, right? So this is crunch time. We are in crunch time right now. And my thing is, this board has rarely failed us when it comes to crunch time moments like this. And like from times when I was reading about the time of like, was it the red what's that baseball team, or Red Bulls? Not Red Bull, Red Sox or whatever. I mean, bro, I'm not following baseball. But I was reading that they were signing some of the best players, you know, in the sport, giving these guys massive contracts. So they know how to sign like the serious talents, right? We've seen it with Mudryk. We saw it with Enzo Fernandez. And maybe people don't have the comparisons, but like, I don't feel like our old boards would be able to get this close. And I don't think they'd be securing guys like Enzo's and Mudryk's in the type of fashion that we did, to be fair with you. You know? Like, I trust these guys. I trust these guys. That's nice. Twitter, man. I need to be careful. Nah. I guess because I follow a lot of guys on Twitter, there's always these thirst traps like left, right, and center on my feeds. Like, you know, it's a good thing I'm a religious guy, you know, no temptation for my part at all. Okay, but I'm not seeing any. Let's go back to Mr. Fab. What's everyone saying here? Yes, understand. We won't understand what's happening right now. 24 hours, we wait. These two together, that's what I'm waiting for, man. These two together. It's actually crazy. What we're building right now, yeah, it's exciting. It's actually stupidly exciting. Jamie Wilkinson, we have been in talks over Caicedo for weeks, months. Yep. You know, latest media briefs. Yep, concerned with the bid. Cool. Best not to believe anything. Yep, we wait patiently. Okay, it's kind of the same stuff right now. I mean, the news is that this is the day things get done. Let me go back to answering some questions. I'm probably going to stay until like at least maybe 8 or something like that. Or maybe 8:30. I need to obviously cook dinner for me and the bae later. So it's my turn to cook tonight. So gonna get the skillet out. Got some chicken thighs marinating in the fridge. Like for me, all my proteins gotta get marinated night before. Like every time. Like it's only like 5 minutes of prep to do that too. Like flavor's important. Flavor is a key thing in my life. But let me go back to answering some of you guys' questiones. LA Dodgers, yeah, that's the guys. That's the club. That's who I'm talking about. John Nini, calm down. Those reports are false. Yep. Blaze, my favorite Chelsea channel all the way from Kenya. Big up, bro. Is this Caicedo hijack true? Do you think we're getting both Caicedo and Lavia? I think time will tell whether we're gonna get both secured right now. But let's just prioritize on Caicedo. That's the main thing. Tobias, 65. Does Nani have a future in Pochettino's system? For sure. Easily. Bro, let's go back to his time at Spurs. Like he likes to have those inverted guys. And now that I'm thinking that we're prioritizing a lot of midfield players, now that Nkunku's out, I mean, like I said yesterday, I'm getting the vibe that 4-3-3 with goal-scoring wingers and a striker up front, that is the way we're looking to play right now. So yeah, I'm feeling alright, to be fair. I'm feeling good. Do you TT Drilly, do you think Madueke can be a right winger for us? Yeah. I think even you said he could be like our own Rafael Leao. Yeah, and the reason why I say that isn't for like hype or clout or nothing like that, but like how many guys with that type of frame has that type of like explosiveness, that speed, and that type of like the footwork to match? Like these guys can change their body directions just like that for the frames they have, right? Like there's not many wingers can do that. You know, most guys would just be pace whores down the flanks and just very one-dimensional players. But Madueke is not like that. I think obviously just being unlucky with the injury at the wrong time. But obviously we saw what this guy was doing last season. Like out of everything that was happening, he gave us a lot of promise with how he played. And just because he's not in the conversation right now doesn't mean that he's forgotten about. Madueke is there. Like the club knows what they bought, right? You know, this was like a board signing too. And, you know, I'm looking at maybe as the season's going on, knowing that hopefully if we're mounting this title challenge, And Kunku's going to feel like a new signing in January. We got talents to come back to. Flipping Badia Shield. Strengthen our defence. You're looking at Madueke still to come back. And then in the future, Wesley Fofana coming back too. Listen, I think we're good. I think we're okay. Destroyer. Okay, Abdul. What do you think the Gallagher links other clubs will speed up? I think when Caicedo signs, I think then, you know, it's time to start selling some of these guys that they don't want to keep. I think Gallagher's definitely a good player. I think he gets underrated a lot. And I feel like my thing's always been like, a lot of fans can maybe be a bit too harsh and stick it on players because they only judge them based on the system we're playing. But like, no one ever thinks, okay, is the system we're using necessarily the most conducive, best one to get the best out of these players? And I don't really think it is most of the time. So this is why I don't like to be too harsh because, you know, Gallagher has got a lot of interest, you know, for what he does at his age. There's a reason why he's got a lot of interest behind him. John Webb, yes, bro. Which part of Ghana are you from? I'm also Ni. Okay, like I said, Ga, man, Accra in the city, bro. Alex, they want to wrap up Caicedo today for sure. Alex again, yep. Gallagher, Samuel, do you think we need a player like Fabregas? Bro, we've got Enzo Fernandez. You forgot already. Daniel, maybe Chelsea should keep Ziyech and play him in the cam right wing depth position. I don't think so. I think the Ziyech ship has sailed now. I think it's just, I'd rather this guy just finds a club to go to and just plays his football. I think it's become an absolute nightmare for him, to be fair with you. But yeah, no more Ziyech anymore. They've all been replaced now, you know? Okay, Michael Casley Richards. Celebrate the first super chat for Michael. Oh, crap. I've never seen this before in my life. Okay, bro. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it really means a lot. Thank you for giving me £1. And if you forgot to leave your question, I'll try and keep an eye out for that. But yeah, appreciate that a lot. Thanks, man. Okay, Michael, I think I got your question here. What about Shirky? Get him instead of Lavia. We don't need more players. I just think that we don't have to force too much like we did in January, where the example I always used last season was, did we even have to bring Madueke, for example, into the squad? Like, why couldn't we have done a Gusto or Nkunku and get this guy ready for the new season? He would have been playing week in, week out at PSV, and he comes back with even better mentality, and you don't know what happens, right? I just think that it's overkill at that point. And realistically, could we go back in January? You never know. Next summer, we'll probably do business. And you look at certain positions like maybe a Raheem Sterling. Let's say Raheem Sterling isn't in the equation anymore. I think it's better then to then make a move for Sharky. I think Sharky could definitely benefit from maybe one more season at Lyon where he's absolutely clear, which I think right now he's on the cusp of actually becoming that type of player in Ligue 1. If he does that, that is the best time to do things. Like, we have a good relationship with him. The player knows our interests. I don't think we have to force so much change in one season now. I think getting the midfield sorted, the attack is okay. Maybe one more guy that can do like split roles in the team. But I don't think like signing Sharky on top. I just think that someone like that is someone I look for next summer. And then, you know what I mean? We need to space it out a bit. We can't force too much in one go. Chelsea fan club, how is the Mbappe deal? I don't think it's happening. Mbappe's saying, I am not leaving PSG. And PSG are throwing out the sympathy cards saying, oh, but if you say it means that we have to sack this person and sack this person and that person. I think to myself, maybe just don't buy a player that costs you 80 million in the next window. I'm sure that money that you happily spend on players, like 1% of that will go into keeping like your staff. So I think it's a lot of cap from Paris Saint-Germain, and I think it's a lot of desperation. It reeks of desperation. And I think Mbappe has these guys in his pocket right now, to be fair with you. Okay, the Janus. I think Poch and Sharky has attitude problems. That's what they said now, but again, he's a young guy. And after another season, it's not like those problems could be the same ones next year. This is what I mean. Like, just wait, let this guy cook in Liga for one more season. Don't force all your hands. There's going to be guys that announce themselves this season that we don't have too much eyes or attention on. It's how the game works, right? So let's just, you know, calmer. Get the priorities sorted, Caicedo and that, and keep it calm. Chelsea Blue and Blue. Like Secure Nini, you strike me as a man who likes gratings. Wow. Does she say jollof is spicy? Good grief. Then you got to resort to beans on toast or fish and chips. Wow, I think you might have got that completely wrong, my guy. I mean, obviously, You know, my girl's a bit exotic. I'm not gonna lie, but Gray, I think she's far from great, my guy. That's such a funny one. That's a funny one. But again, I get it. Obviously, you guys don't know what I'm like outside of Twitter. YouTube. I'm here to do what I have to do, right? But yeah, that was a funny one. That was a funny one still. Moscow calling. Hey, how you doing? Do you think if we somehow lost Caicedo and Lavia, we can go with Adams as the starting 11 DM? It's not enough appeal. And your thoughts on Diego Costa, our new goalkeeper? I found out about him from you. 65 mil for him. Like, what was really funny about that was that FC Porto actually brought in Jorge Mendes to try and engineer a move away. They got like FFP issues. Not too terrible in the sense that the club's going to implode and they're not going to exist. Nothing like that. But nothing really, of course, progressed with that. And as we learned, the major reason was because Kepa, we couldn't get any buyers for him. So obviously this loan stuff for Kepa is very interesting. And I was talking about the timing on Twitter, right? But Diogo Costa, I like this guy a lot. I think this is like a title-winning goalkeeper. And to go to those heights, and I'm not talking about like competing with United. It's like get past clubs like that. It's we look at your Madrids and Bayerns and stuff like that. I think maybe next summer could be these summers to make those like 2-3 signings. That's it. You're splashing out big money on 2-3 stupid like clear players, and then you're done. And then that's it. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with him. But there's no way he stays at Porto forever. And technically, not many clubs actually, have the funds to spend big on a keeper. Hence why Madrid's and Bayern are looking at Kepa on loan, for example. But I think next season, yeah, I think Diogo Costa, he's the guy I love to see between the posts. I mean, him, Onana, Magnon, they're my three favourites, to be fair with you. But yeah, anyway, appreciate the question. Thanks a lot. Moving on to M Tech, another one. First time super chat. Appreciate that, bro. Let me go back. Will players lose morale if we don't get Caicedo? Wow. I mean, I'd like to think not. I'd like to think they're thinking, okay, this is my opportunity now to stake my claim in this team. What do you mean, Caicedo? I'm here. Like, you spent big money on me. I'm earning big wages. It's my time to shine. That's the energy I'd want to see. But, yeah, I think it'll just be disappointment all around. It'll be shared equally between everyone if we don't get Caicedo. But I don't think there's nothing to panic about right now, I don't think there's nothing to panic about right now. Let's just see how it goes, innit? Calmer. But let me see some more questions. Okay, another one. Otis. Yes, Otis. Another super chat. First time guy. Appreciate that, bro. Otis. Like the name, man. Old school classic name. Think we are buying too many young players. Oh, I think this has to be like a conversation, right? I think one thing I want to do this season too, I was reading you guys' recommendations, obviously having people on, having more discussions with other content creators, hopefully maybe some subscribers, Twitter personalities, is that I guess that's what we're calling them, right? I think obviously just laying out the conversations, I think that would be a good one, but obviously you're getting a sense of overkill for sure. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not feeling that myself. But I try to remember, listen, like, I'm a YouTuber, yeah? I'm literally on an armchair analysing what's happening at this football club, for God's sake. Like, I know where my lane is, but I like to think these guys, there's a bit of planning and prep. Obviously, the network clubs are there for a reason. A lot of these guys have been bought for that. And also, we also forget that it's also a business. This game's a business. So I also think a lot of the plan is you got a top young guy. If we don't work out for you, let's say you banged on loan for your network club or elsewhere, you bought him for like 3 million, that guy could be sold for 15 or 20 in the future. And that's how you're just supplementing yourself. And then when you add on top the fact that we've signed a lot of guys on long-term contracts where the player cost is down a lot. We've cut down the wage bill like crazy. If 1 or 2 or 3 of these guys didn't maybe live up to the goods eventually, we're not tied down. We can still earn money from them and then reinvest back into the team. So I'm understanding the long-term playing strategy at hand here. So I think it's all right, to be fair with you. You should do a live stream with Johnny Minerals. Not on my life, bro. Not on my life would I ever do that. Please. There's worse ways I can kill my time. Yes, I saw one guy. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Checker the Fresh. Yes, Seb C. Like Seb C is a guy that I respect. I like him. Obviously, I know he's got his little way with words at times, but obviously this guy's got he's in the industry. The guy's a coach. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. Like I like to always try and learn something new every season. Makes it more exciting for me. For sure, I like to have him on Joe Tweedy one day. Of course, you guys know Joe Tweedy, OG of just everything. To be fair with you, and you know, what's also sick about him too is that he actually has like scouting badges, so he has all of that secured. So when he talks, you know that you're getting something. You're getting top tier information, insight, all that stuff. So 100% these guys at some point in the season having a discussion would be fun for sure. I've got another super chat here, Maxi Vice. Yes, Maxi, first time super chat as well too. I think maybe you might have missed the option to share your question. If I see it, I'm gonna do my best here. I'm trying to scroll through right now to see if you've left anything else. Not seeing nothing. Hey, I'm gonna keep my eye out, bro. But regardless, appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. What you guys saying here? Sean Kenner. Nini, if we get Caicedo, and I've been saying Caicedo for so long, apologies. I know my pronunciation on players is awful. It's not good enough. Like, I'll have it in my head and it just won't come out when I'm recording. But anyway, Caicedo, Kudus. With other good business we've done this summer, where do you think we finish in the league this season? We will shock the punters, having us 6th and further down. Listen, if you guys are the type of people that already like to bet regardless, I mean, you might as well do it right now. I mean, there's a lot of people really think that we ain't going to be near the top this season. That kind of baffles me. It's so, and this is what I find really funny about football, because this is the main difference, right, about knowing and not knowing. If you just watched or try to find out something you were unsure of, it's going to reveal a lot more compared to the impression you make up in your head, right? Like, I try to keep that open mind all the time, because my thing is I'm not an expert. I have no qualifications. Listen, I'm a passionate geek, nerd, and fan, of course, but I'm not no expert like that, where I'm not arrogant enough where I don't feel like my opinion can be changed or I can learn something new. But the fact that they're really thinking, after all the players and the stuff we've done during pre-season, that we're going to be outside European spots, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. But listen, that's going to be easy money for some of you fans that like to bet regardless, right? Anyway, some more questions. Okay, I think it's time to drop the Mount Pin tweet. I've been watching the channel for years, but I think it's time, bro. You know what? Like, it's not even like, I've not even left it there as like, Mount till I die. That's my guy. Mount to the end. It's nothing. It's not even like that. It's more like that was my first ever tweet that got numbers like that. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I left it there. But you know what? It's a new Chelsea, right? It's a new era. It's new everything. So maybe it is time right now. Maybe it is time to let that tweet go. I mean, to be fair, I had one Ruben tweet. I got like 12k likes, and like when I get likes on Twitter, I never know. It's just always random. I just never really understand. Again, I'm not like a engagement farmer where I'm only saying things to try and get hits and clicks and all that stuff. I don't see what the stress is. But bro, this is my first ever tweet, and it's funny because it was over like 5k. It's come down now. What was the analytics on this even? Okay, 2 mil, blah 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 blah. You know what? Let me it's bookmarked, but maybe it's time to say goodbye to the tweet. Okay, you got your way, bro. I hope you're happy. You got your way. You got your way. But let me go back. It's gone now. It's done. No more Mount tweets. Okay, let me get back to what I was doing now. Oh, I don't even think I even showed you guys that it's gone now. Crap. Let me just show you guys real quick again. Oh, this is why I need to get used to OBS sometimes. Like, it's so finicky. There's so many things you have to touch and do at the same time. But bros, you're seeing. No more pin tweet. No more pin tweet. It's all gone. No more. No more. I had to let it go. It's probably time. Thanks for reminding me. But getting back to answering some questions. I think I got another super chat. Apologies. But Maxi Vice again. Hey bro. Don't have a question, just wanted to support. No, I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. And I even supported again. But yeah, Maxi, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. Love you, bro. I know it hurts. Bro, honestly, it's my first ever tweet that banked like got numbers like that. It's just more of a sentimental thing, to be fair. But anyway, going on. Nigel Wells. I don't like Vlahovic in my team. Nigel, I agree with you. I think the fact that most guys didn't, and even Pochettino doesn't, like, we're not doing what we used to do with the previous management now. Like, get guys that support the ideas. Stick to that right now. Let's not force players into systems. Like, that was the one thing for me that would always kill us every time. You'd have one amazing season, and then next summer we're forcing guys into the team that don't see what we're doing. I think Lukaku was the biggest mistake in a while, and we can't ever do that again, to be fair with you. Anyway, how's that all the way? Talk on other teams, and do you edit your vids? Now, recently, I have been getting some people to try and do some of it. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect straight away, but most times I'm editing them, to be fair. Like, I'm a bit of like a one-man army, so I make all my own graphics, do all of this, do all of that, research, like every video, I've got files dating back to when I started YouTube. You know, I've got files from every year and season on my hard drives. Like, everything's organized and itemized and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm getting to a point now, I'm thinking I'm not able to tackle things I actually want to do because it's not that smart to be a one-man army doing everything. I just can't do it no more. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's time to let that go. And yeah, I would like to talk about other teams. I do have a second channel that I've not touched in years, and I've been waiting to try and do something with that, but there's just no time. You know, obviously having that life, a girl as well too, it's just like I'd have to leave all that behind, and yeah, I kind of enjoy those things, to be fair with you, you know. So let's move on. Al Hamza, hi Nini. Do you miss any past Chelsea players? Obviously, guys, obviously Drogba is always going to be like, you know, hazards. Like, if these two players were part of this football we're playing now, unreal. It would be unreal. David Luiz will always have a special place in my heart. I think no one used to like him. Lots of unfair stick. I don't think people realise how good he was. Listen, he's not 10 out of 10 defensively, but as an overall package, this guy is a world-class football player, to be fair. So yeah, those guys I really liked. Always had a soft spot for Michael Ballack growing up too. The funny thing is, one of my favourite players growing up when I was a kid was Fernando Torres. Like, when Torres was the captain of Atletico Madrid at 17 years old, like I was telling my dad, is there any news on Fernando Torres, like religiously. And when we signed him, it was redundant because for some reason at the time, the club was always so desperate to get rid of Didier Drogba for some reason. And then when we signed Fernando Torres, like, we didn't have no real use for him because we didn't play a style of football to support him, so it didn't make any sense. But anyway, got some more super chats. Chosen one, more live streams please, top content as always, appreciate that. I don't know why I should be doing more live streams. I don't know why I don't do that all the time, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was a little bit surprised that you guys maybe enjoyed them more than I realized, to be brutally honest. I didn't realize you guys enjoyed them that much, but if you guys just like hearing me have my unfiltered opinions, that's how I kind of started YouTube when I first started all those years back. It was just streams, unfiltered opinions. Sometimes it's better talking this way where, like, it flows more. Like, you know, sometimes when you do YouTube, like, if you guys were to take, like, a camera in your face and start talking into it, it's not the most natural thing to do, right, compared to just talking like how it is. And sometimes it's like, I don't talk like this in my vids. It's more like a presenter type of thing or whatever. Sometimes it comes out. But I'm just trying to tap into that a bit more, to be fair with you, just to make my life a bit easier. But got some more super chats. Prince, love your contents. Can Mudryk handle the number 10? My guy, Mudryk is going to be able to, you know, he can lift the weight of that number for sure. We see what this guy is doing in the gym. We know what he's doing with his leg workouts. Like, this guy, he can support that weight of the number 10 for sure, easily. And why do I say that? Because Pochettino is using this guy properly. Last season, I'm sorry, like, I've always been kind of like supportive of the attacking players over the years because we didn't play a style of football that really encouraged much of anything. Like, I always hear about creativity, no creativity. What creativity is there? You only get creativity if the system allows for it. Like, look how we play now. There's constant movement. Players are in packs. They're close together. They're looking to combine. They're looking to interchange positions. That's how you're creative. But if you're going to tell these guys to follow strict instructions all the time, you're basically expecting wonder passes every time. And the game doesn't work like that. Like, when Man City score goals, and Man City scoring like goals from like wonder passes every time. That might happen 5 times a season for like a De Bruyne, for example, and you remember that. But most of the time, this is stuff that they're working on the training ground, and it is like a simple cutback. It is just like opening up the opposition's organization and playing it as simple as possible. So I feel like, yeah, I feel this is why I feel optimistic for Mudryk this season for sure. I'm moving on to moving on to Raz JD. It's Granid. Yes, Granid. Of course, I remember, man. You playing FPL, Noah Nkunku. Yeah, nice to see you here, bro. I'm going to remember Raz JD. Why am I getting hiccups now? You guys, let me get some water real quick. Sorry. But yeah, obviously, no FPL. I just never commit to it. Like, I do it for the first 2-3 weeks, and then I just like lose my attention. But I know I do want to do something for all the subs in that regard, right? Like a big type of like FPL competition or something. I've always had ideas for that. I was hoping that this summer I would have had a website ready, but there was some complications behind the scenes. There'll still be one this year, but I feel like I need to plan that shit now for next season, basically. But yeah, if you guys, FPL, what you guys are saying with your FPL teams, who are the key players that you think, okay, what players from us are you taking for your FPL teams? Like, I feel like if you don't have Levi Cole, you're making a mistake, because this guy's going to be collecting points for fun with that passing. I'm looking at guys like Jackson. I don't know how much he costs, but I think he's a bit of an unknown quality. I don't think many people know what to expect from him. Maybe even Mudryk. I think he's going to be like an assist merchant this season. So yeah, there's a few decent players to help with that. But moving on. Prince. Can Reece James captain us to a treble in the future? Bro, with Reece James, I think anything's kind of possible, to be fair with you. Like, we saw us lift the Champions League in the 2021 season, and I don't think any of us would have guessed that could have been the case based on just looking at the players individually. At the time, how we played, I could see it a little bit, but the quality we had at the time, who saw it coming? But now you got Reece, and now he's going to have like a proper winger to play with. He's going to have Enzo on the right hand side. It's a different game, man. Honestly, it's a different game. But I'm probably going to stay here for probably another half an hour, maybe, because I'm getting a little bit hungry. I need to get stocked up and with food right now to get ready for what's set to be a very late night with this Caicedo story. I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight. Obviously, you know, some of my friends, you know, they have their sources. They know what they're talking about. One of my friends has just said, because I asked him, okay, like, is the plan to have 3 midfield players this season? Obviously, Tyler Adams, Caicedo, Lavia. And he just came back to me saying, I've been told that they actively want all 3 if we can sign all 3. No idea how they feel about all 3 with like Enzo, Carnes, Hugo, Caicedo, Santos can work. I think the club have got word they might get a ban from previous owners and are trying to sort everything out for now and the future very low. Okay. Maybe I should have read that first before I said that. I don't want to start I don't want to start creating any fear now, to be fair with you. But okay, that's some interesting context. But again, you know, I'm not gonna be here. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna be like, listen, you heard it from me first. This is the facts, blah blah blah. Let's hope that's not gonna happen, of course. Let's hope that's not gonna be the case. But it's just kind of funny that if this happened, this would have been from the previous board, right? For how they were doing business back then. Like, I don't hate them, but you guys, if some of you know my opinions, I was a bit critical of them. Like, I wasn't just in love because, oh, you know, their money and their investment maybe meant that we won things. Nah. I was just like, listen, if you're going to be like constantly pushing out the need to win and the ruthlessness behind winning. Like, I'll never forget how we sacked Ancelotti. I was thinking that's one of the stupidest sackings I've ever seen as a fan in my whole life. You undermine the guy as well too, and then you're out the door after he got us the double last season. Ancelotti, come on, that was just like too far for me, and that's what kind of made me start to switch up my opinions on the board, to be fair with you. But these guys, they weren't running it how these guys are running it. There was, there was things happening behind the scenes, right? It wasn't that conducive towards success, and it's just like there's this contradiction between the demands for success in the field compared to what the boards are doing to bring us success. That's just my opinion, and I kind of feel like, that what was their final thing, signing Lukaku for super money, and then look at that, look what's happened with that situation. But shit, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully no one's recording this right now, but there's always context for everything, right? Like, why are we wanting to spend like $1 billion plus like straight after they've taken over? But yeah, let's hope that's not the case. Honestly, let's hope that's not the case. Alex, 116 charges and still no ban if I speak. Let's not speak on this one. Prince, and thank you. A super chat to just like break the atmosphere right now. Would you rather have Tchouaméni or Caicedo? Bro, Caicedo, Tchouaméni's not happening. But I would probably, if I had to pick, it would be Tchouaméni, because I've always loved this guy for time. Like, you guys who been watching me, I think I was the first one to talk about Tchouaméni Chelsea, like on YouTube and just in general, to be fair with you. So yeah, I'm not trying to big myself up though. What other questions do I have? Wendy, if we get a ban and Man City doesn't, I know the Man City, the bookiness with all these fake shell companies as well too, it's crazy. It actually is. Amma B, how long do you take for a video starting with recording, editing until uploading? Shit, that's a good question. I'd probably say on average, and it's not like set time every time, right? Sometimes like a render could be slow, or maybe it gets demonetized, or there's an issue that comes up, or unforeseeable things. But maybe from like script writing to editing and making the graphics and stuff, maybe like 3 to 4 hours, I would say. Recently though, for my last news vids, I've been trying to cut that time down, because I'm thinking news vids, it's just like there needs to be like utility behind it, right? It's like, this news will mean nothing tomorrow because there's going to be more news, so don't be wasting too much time doing that. I feel like maybe recently I've been putting in too much time into like editing XYZ, and I just don't think that's what people are there for, and I can use that time editing other things that would be better, you know what I mean? But I'd probably say 3 to 4 hours, and I'm trying to actively cut that time down, because yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. Hey, what other questions? Aaron, what's he saying? Todd Bowley said in a conference that they were really surprised at the lack of communication from higher up down to the academy, and that's already improved with Bath getting promoted. That's what I mean. Like, I just felt like the culture at the club was completely different. It wasn't always catered towards like pure sporting success. You know, I felt like, listen, Roman didn't necessarily even need to make a profit on the club. You know, I don't want to say it was a vanity project, but some could see it that way. These guys is different because they have experience doing that, and eventually, after 10 years is gone, they want to see a return on their investment so they can take out dividends. So this is the difference, I think, right now. But I think the culture of the previous one, you know, the hierarchy, guys like Scott McCacklin, I've always felt that guy was like a company man, yes man, does whatever he has to do to still have a job, you know what I mean? And just like the lack of direction sometimes, it just wasn't as good as it should have been. And I'm always going to say that, to be fair with you. I just think that it wasn't. But I've got a super chat right now. Oh shit. Kyle Roberts. Damn, bro, that's crazy. Order some takeout for you and your girl tonight. Love the content, brother. Who do you want to be the player of the season? Damn, bro, that's honestly very humbled by that gesture. Really appreciate that, Kyle. I mean, my cooking's not that bad. Yeah, she does tend to enjoy my cooking, but okay, I think maybe it might be a bit of a takeout thing tonight then, for sure. But anyway, Kyle, honestly, really appreciate that, man. Crazy. But okay, your question. Who do you want to be the player of the season? That's a hard one. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think we've got a lot of likable players here this season, right? I think we've bought quite well. There's a lot of guys that really excite us. I mean, I don't know where to start. I mean, Enzo. I'm looking at Jackson. I'm looking at guys like Reece, Levi, maybe Caicedo if it gets wrapped up tonight. There's too many to list, to be fair with you. We've got a lot of guys. I would have been Nkunku if he didn't have this injury, but he could come back and kill things like he tends to do, like he did last season at Leipzig. But if I had to pick, I'm probably going to pick Enzo Fernandez. Now that he's got this like number 8 attacking role, and I really, really like Enzo. I really like him. Really like Enzo a lot. I'm hoping he is like a pivotal guy in the Premier, not even our team, but throughout the Premier League. Like, wow, this is why we spent over 100 million to sign him. This is why we put in the groundwork and all the effort to get this done, because this guy can be like top 5 midfield players in the world, you know? I mean, that World Cup campaign, unreal. The stuff at Benfica, what he was doing at River Plate. I mean, Enzo Fernandez, he's a guy like there's only a few guys like I will properly like watch their games, really study them. And Nkunku was one. Like I used to talk about Nkunku before we signed him. And Enzo Fernandez, yeah, he's just that type of football player I like. And I mean, his World Cup campaign, absolutely beautiful too. He's a guy I really like. And maybe second would be Levi Cole, to be fair with you. I think Cole, you guys know that for a long time. I wasn't saying this because it's Cobham. It's just like when you watch these guys, you see the truth for yourself. And you watch a lot of players you can compare and see what they do. And you're just doing things that other defenders weren't doing at that age. And some still can't do, and they're like double his age. You know what I mean? But Kyle, bro, crazy super chat. Really appreciate that, man. I feel like I'm definitely going to have to stay on a bit longer now. But yeah, crazy. But let me answer some more questions. And again, Kyle, really appreciate that. And Keno Allen, hey Nini, been watching you since 20k subs. Wow. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow all these years. But my question is, what are your thoughts on Chelsea for this season? Where do you have us finishing? I am working on like a Prem prediction. I have to do one. I have to do one for good luck. But I've got us seconds. I have us second in the league. It might be ambitious. It won't be the first time. You know, I've fallen for the Kool-Aids. And I've fallen for the hype. I'll put my hands up. It's not the first time. But you just sometimes, you know, when the vibe is just right and when everything is just like tick, tick, tick and everything's in sync and everything's working. I mean, I'm getting that similar vibe. I'm really getting that type of similar vibe for the positivity around what's happening. And I think the way we're playing, I've always seen it like this. Like, when we won the Champions League, one thing I kept saying in my videos at the time was that we had a tactical advantage because a lot of teams didn't have any preparation when it came to really playing against us and getting ready for us. So when Tuchel came, brought a winning style of football, using the best qualities of what he had, you know, to work with at the time, and really focusing on things like the intensity and stopping counter-attacks. Like, you have to realize, most tactical work gets done during pre-season because most times in the league, you are traveling. You're 2-3 games in a week. There isn't that much time to work on tactics and prep for a game. You know, it doesn't work like that. So I feel like because things are starting so well, and because we're playing such a different type of football that we weren't playing last season, I don't know how teams will cope against that quickly. I feel like maybe as the season goes on, then we'll start to see teams finding strategies against us for sure. But I think right now we could ride a little bit of a wave at the start. I'm being idealistic for sure, but there's a few factors we have in our favour, basically. But anyway, Heba, yes, Heba Badir, Nini. Honestly, I want a midfielder or an attacker to be the best player this season. No more defenders, yes, I agree. I agree with that, you know? I agree. I like that opinion. Midfielder or attacker that influential positions, let these guys be the starring lights, basically. I get that. Dranids, if Enzo doesn't get a formidable partner, he'll drown. Yes, you're right. We must give him the resources to reach his ridiculous potential. We let Hazard down in that regard. You're right. Like, and I feel like if Hazard had a left back that properly supported him, if we played a style of football that wasn't like Hazard one-man army, if we had just like a bit more support, I mean, we saw like the final glimpses and hints of that in the 18-19 season, where like you had a Ruben on the left hand side, and I thought these guys played really well together. Like I've not seen too many players in that same wavelength that can really do those one touch things, passing moves and stuff like that. But I saw that, and you know, to have a defensive fullback, to not let him go up. We bought a lot of, we signed a lot of managers that only care to win, and I think my thing with winning managers is that they're careerists, you know, like they care about their legacy and their trophies. And sometimes, listen, the game is a game, you have to do that. But my thing was always, it don't make sense to invest so much money into young players whilst having managers like this, because you're not going to be able to get the full strength out of them. Maybe if these guys were 5 years older, yeah, it's different context, right? But you're going to have managers like this for a young team that haven't even fully developed their game. It just doesn't work to be playing this strict, to be this reliant on automatisms. Like, wasn't really my thing, to be fair. But anyway, yes, bro. Oluwese, watching for a couple years, keep it up. Hopefully it continues. Like, it's been a long time. I've been on this platform for a long time now. I never actually thought I was going to be a YouTuber. It wasn't really something I was planning for. I only got into YouTube because I didn't have an outlet to talk about football, you know. All my friends, especially at uni and stuff, would take the piss. Professor this, professor that. Obviously, I used to get a lot of bants. But I was just like, you know what, hopefully, you know, I can find my community of professors online, hopefully. And and yeah, I guess I have. And yeah, you know, I got to be appreciative of that. So thank you to everyone, man. But anyway, Tony Montana. And Nkunku is the new Hazard. I think in terms of like peak serious signings, like your Kante's, Hazards, I think Nkunku's in that same class for sure. Alex, I think I missed that. Cookie Man, yes bro, how you doing? The footy coach, with Romano's reports of wanting to resolve Caicedo today, an announcement tomorrow morning. I think announcements only come after the press stuff's been done. I'd probably like to think Saturday. I'd hope that it wouldn't be like a stadium announcement, obviously, on Sunday. I'd like to think he has an opportunity now to be ready for Liverpool on Sunday. And this makes this battle even techier. Makes it even more serious now, because we could really weaken Liverpool. And listen, they look very dangerous in attack, like how we have in pre-season. But they also look very susceptible to conceding goals. You could argue that's the same thing for us. So it's going to be an exciting game. And I think having Caicedo in that game gives us an advantage that Liverpool don't have. So let's cross fingers, man. I'm going to be on for like 15 more minutes, my friends, before I wrap things up, start munching up on some food, and just, yeah, a bit of off time before I get back to probably getting ready to do more videos on Caicedo. But let me go on. Adrian, Reece is going to be under serious pressure from Gusto. I agree with you, man. I hope we don't overplay James for the sake of it. He's not fully fit. I'm really hoping that Gusto got 5 subs. I think Gusto, or one of the fullbacks, should get rotated quite a bit in games. I don't think I need Reece, because again, now you got 5 subs. I think that you can maintain the intensity of games even more. And now that the Prem is introducing the World Cup rules of obviously more extra time, I think there's even more pressure now. No, not pressure. There's more onus now on squad management in game, making subs at the right time. You know, maintaining intensity in certain areas of the field if it's dipping. And I don't. If Reece has to play 60 minutes sometimes, calm. That's more than fine for me. We got quality backup options, and that's the difference now. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Manor. hand report from Sierra Leone. How you doing, man? Chelsea need players like Caicedo and Lavia if you want to win the league. I fully agree. I think midfield now is the area now to get right and invest a lot of time into now. I'm going to scroll up because I know there's a lot of good questions I'm just like getting fleeting glances of, but I think I'll get back to the questions. Let's go back to Twitter again just to see what's happening at this point in time. Any more interesting updates? We shall find out. Okay, what's everyone saying? Here. Okay, nothing in my notifications. Goldberg. Honestly, I've received nothing but positivity from people at Chelsea in 24 hours over Caicedo. Yep. Football is a crazy business and the fan in me is still nervous. Yep. Would be a horrendous look having it be public that we want to unveil Caicedo on Sunday and then instead lose him to the team we're playing. I get that. Of course, optics, got to keep those optics strong. Yeah, I've got some faith, man. I feel like if we mess up most of the guys that are playing for us right now, I'd be a bit more fearful. But I think this board has made me feel the faith and trust, and this window just continues to have surprises. Okay, we're interested. What in a potential last-minute move for Verratti? Okay. I can't even. Why won't it let me click on this? It's not making no sense. Marco Verratti. I'm looking forward to discussing this for later. Caicedo. That's what everyone cares about right now. It's nah, Twitter, man. You need to love it and hate it. Villa. Okay, Zanolo. Mr. Felix. Understand we are paying his release clause in one payment. I mean, it's only the 20 mil. I mean, obviously we'd be overpaying for the release clause, right? So yeah, there's no need to do that basically. Ooh, what happened to her? Sorry, nah. Twitter, man. What is wrong? Why is there so much bunda on Twitter all the time? Like, I think I see so much bunda. Like, I'm getting a bit bored of it now. It's too much bunda on this platform, for God's sake. Way too much, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is that the only thing people want to show all the time? Is there nothing else? Flipping hell. Okay. He's going to Liverpool, bro. Trust me. Spend the whole window trying to save pennies for you, man, to swoop in last minute. Bro, I don't think Liverpool fans can be talking with this much vim at all, to be fair with you. Like, they don't learn any lessons this window. Crazy. I think our interest in Verratti, I mean, that's very left field, right? Obviously, he's like nearly 30 years old. Yeah, he's got the experience, but it's not been someone we've ever really gone for at all. So I'm not too sure about that one, but I'll be worth discussing later on once I break it down. A bit of a Romano update. Anything interesting from him? Okay, Max Aarons. I think that's the most like Bournemouth signing. Him and the guy they signed from Bristol City, Alex Scott. Like the most bait Bournemouth signings of all time. Yeah, Caicedo, hurry up. Good news. These guys are cooking right now as we're doing this. Like, you know, they're actively negotiating up right now. So yeah, it's exciting times. Like, this is the moment where it gets sealed. Cool. Fred Fenerbahce didn't want to go to Fulham. I'm happy that Osimhen remains at Napoli. Like, Napoli, one of my favourite footballing teams last season, and it's just like, please, like, it'd be nice for these clubs to keep their best players, and why not try and dominate Serie A now? You've got the talent, you've got the resources and the players. Why sell up and then restart? Like, what's the point? Like, if you're at the peak right now, maintain that. Okay, who's this Donny? Raul Garcia, cool, good for him. Okay, so nothing too interesting. Obviously, Verratti reports. Casado saga ends. Yep. We didn't want a bidding war. Yep. Highest bidder. Sasha Tavaleri. What's he saying? This is Mr. Belgium himself. Situation remains the same and his mind is clear. Even after a bid of Chelsea was rejected this morning, I've been told Romeo Lavia likes Liverpool and wants to be in Liverpool. Poker game with Caicedo. Okay, fair enough, you know. That could also be a thing that happens. It is what it is, and I just think that we got reinforcements. Give those opportunities to Cons. Give those minutes to Andre Santos. Let these guys cook. You're signing a guy the same age as them. Is extra competition needed? I'm not too sure. And you know what? We kind of kept Romeo Lavia waiting behind the scenes for a while. It is what it is. I'm not too upset by it. I think we'll survive, to be fair with you. My friends, I'm going to be here for the final 10 minutes before I have to bounce. And then get ready to make more videos later tonight. I don't know how I'm doing 1 a.m. videos. Oh, nah, crazy. But let me go back. Nini forgot to look at Bunda on his out. Nah, bro, I'm bunded out right now. It's just too much. It's too much. I've seen too much over the years too. It's just us. You know what I mean? Lavia couldn't lace Caicedo's boots. Yeah, let's start with that spat talk. Yeah, I'm here for that. Sandeep, hey, how you doing? If we get Tyler Adams and Lavia, then do we still need Caicedo? I think it's why. I think Lavia might not be the play right now based on some of the reports coming out. Obviously, I just mentioned and quoted Sasha Tavolieri. It is what it is. It's fine. We got options. We got players. We got talents, right? Richard, how you doing? Nini, do you think we should be getting Caicedo and Lavia together like we secured? I think the club would do that. I mean, I was saying earlier in the stream that we'd happily buy all three if we can. We'll see if it happens. Wendy, I feel like we'll start the season a bit slow. Not bad, but slow from October. And we'll be cooking on serious gas, putting up there in the race. That's an observation. I just think, let's see how this month ends. You know, hopefully it ends with us up. You know, Caicedo, at least like top 4 position in the league, like 3 wins, 1 draw, something like that. I would take a draw against Liverpool. It's not that bad, in my opinion. But that's what I'd like to see, preferably. Dex. We have Sterling for the Bunds. Yeah. But I think he's just giving a different type of Bunda, to be fair. Just ass on the field at times. Not gonna like. I think like Sterling is one of those guys that you have to respect. I might sound a bit mad, but I feel like if you don't like Sterling, it says more about you and it lets me know something about it, because it's just like you have no real reason not to like him. But my thing is, when we signed him, I was like, my fear was, is he on a slight downwards trajectory? Because a lot of his best stuff is more off the ball. I see him more as like a wide forward instead of like a winger. He can get past his man and stuff, but it's more about how he operates in the spaces more. It's like, is that something that is long term for us? I'm not too sure, and we'll see how he does. I think now Pochettino, goal scoring wingers, now Raheem Sterling's experience in the league, I don't think he'll be terrible. I'm gonna leave an open mind to see how Sterling does, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was like one day replaced for someone new in the market. Let's say it's like, hey, Rafael Leao, cool. I think you've been in Milan for too long. We've got a lot of money right now after winning this league title. What are you saying? But we'll see. Cursor, Nini, in regards to rival fans, do you rate Lee Gunner? If I'm being honest, obviously I've seen some of his things on that social media. I don't know him too well, like to know all his opinions and stuff. And like, if I don't know someone too well, I don't like to have like lazy opinions or hunches. You know, I don't like to try and be stereotypical on people if I've not invested the time to even fully see what he's about, right? So yeah, I mean, when it comes to like other fan content, I do watch a lot of like Mark Goldbridge. Like if I'm working, his streams are on. I think he's good. I like a lot of the United stuff, to be fair. I think Man United YouTube, they should be proud of what they've created in that community, because not only is it like lots of different voices and opinions, but it's like a lot of like good quality at the same time. Everyone's bringing quality in different aspects here and there, and I think in our community that's definitely something we could strive for. You know what I mean? All of us, definitely myself included. Okay. Addy Dans, Nini, bro, do you think we'll get another striker this summer? I actually think Kane will join again. Like, there's no need to force signing any striker right now when there's going to be options that open up next summer. So I just think it's just smart now to keep things cool. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, we know Harry Kane has a yard near us. Would it surprise me if he's like, listen, I'm only going to go to Chelsea right now. I'm going to work under Pochettino in a system I'm already familiar with, and in a system that put me on the map, right? We have to wait, my guys. We have to wait. And who knows if that could make us like proper Champions League contenders again. Like these are the things and the hypotheticals we can ponder about now based on like how we move as a club, right? It's crazy. Nasty Nick, do we win the FA Cup or League Cup this year? Both. We win both, my guy. And appreciate the super chat, man. Ronnie Scott, Moises Caicedo emptied his locker out 5 days ago. Yep, correct. He hasn't returned for sure. I think Melissa, sometimes, obviously, because I cover the news too, like, you don't realize how much news gets recycled. Like, the same story is recycled by, like, 20, 30, 40 different journalists. It's like we already kind of know that he's packed his bags and he said no. So, but again, I'm making the mistake, right? Because these guys are just doing their normal job. Like, if you're gonna write a story, you're gonna always have like a bit of background on that. But what happens is, if you only get your info on Twitter exclusively, it's always gonna be like fresh news, because you're refreshing the app left, right, and center, and it's just like all these accounts that want to get interactions, that want to report the news, they constantly just regurgitate what's just kind of normal and standard stuff, right? So so yeah, I take that back what I said, and I think the bay is here now. I'm going to be on for 3 more minutes, you guys, before I have to go. Don't worry, I'll come in a bit, innit? I'll come. But yeah, 3 more minutes, my guys, before I have to bounce. Anyway, DJ Fantasy, yes, Dini. Thank you. Any more questions? Destroyer X. I understand why Chelsea might want Caicedo, Lavia, and Adams, but we should think about the future of Caicedo, Santos, and others. I think so. I think Caicedo, force yourself in the conversation, have a good loan. Let's see what you do. There was some reports that Lazio might make like a last-minute loan approach. I would be happy with that, for him to work under Sarri in a similar type of, similar system, but you can play to your strengths a bit. Sarri knows how to get the best out of midfield players. I think Milinkovic-Savic was clear under him. Ruben was. I mean, we saw what he was doing at Napoli too, at Zielinski and all these guys in the team too. Yeah. Hamsik, can't forget. So yeah, I think I would love, hopefully, if Caicedo found himself going to Italy. But I think one of the reasons why he also is going to Leicester is because ideally we want him to remain in the country, is what the club are saying in terms of his education. So I think that's why that might be the case, to be honest with you. But okay, Wendy, definitely agree. Man United YouTube community is great. They're the least toxic and most tolerable. Yes, you're 100% right, because they all come. It's like they want to come with quality, not just cheap engagement. Capture this view, crap this, crap that. And they've all been doing it for a lot longer than a lot of us. I think they've really fine-tuned their craft a lot. And yeah, I think I'm always impressed when I see it, and it's just like, okay, cool. These are the levels, Ernam, what about De Gea? I think De Gea now is going to be going to Real Madrid. Obviously, unfortunate for Courtois, ACL, right before the season's about to start too. Awful. But yeah, it looks like De Gea is going to United at the moment. Okay, Carefree Youth. Yes, Carefree. Big up, Nini. Much love, respect, bro. Obviously, yeah. Thank you for obviously reaching out to on WhatsApp for sure. You kind of scare me, bro. I'm not gonna lie, you. That scared me. Let's hope we won't get that serious, right? Creme egg. Nini telling to look at more Bunda. Nah. I'm not that shameless. I try not to be that shameless. Taka Lane. Hey, bro. Nini, just want to say appreciate the work you do. Respect for that, bro. And just respect to everyone. Honestly, sometimes, you got to grind up doing this stuff. And, when you get, positive affirmations and comments, it really is motivating. It always is okay, cool. Get back on it again. Get serious. But I'm going to answer one more question, because I think my time is basically up right now. I've got to get back to live before I get back online again. But final question. Okay, Moses Caicedo cleared his locker. Yep, we already know that. Amos just tired with Caicedo Lavia stories. Don't worry, today it's going to be over. Dallas Knight, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Sky Sports was reporting this morning that Liverpool and Bayern, yep, for sure. Just spoke about that in a news video this morning too. The 5 dinner time they were reporting, Liverpool's only rang Brighton to see how much exactly, but now I think it's got a lot more serious now. Carefree, I love to put fear in your life. Not this type of fear, man. No more transfer bans, bro. McFred, Sterling as a backup. I think that would probably be a better use for him compared to being out wide at the moment, to be fair with you. Simba, big up, Nini, respect to yourself, bro. Kazim, yes, Nini, what's the updates in Caicedo? Bro, today is the day that it gets wrapped up. This 24-hour periods, that's it. We'll finally know who's set to win the race to sign Caicedo. It's us in Liverpool right now. We're both trying to get ready for this massive game at the start of the season, and let's hope that we're the ones that's going to be up at the end. But my guys, obviously, thank you to everyone today for showing a lot of love and support. I think for the next stream, I'm going to like give a proper heads up and give you guys some time in advance. You know what I mean? I'm going to maybe experiment with the timing. Like I'd even be open maybe to doing like my normal videos, maybe like an afternoon stream and a slash evening stream. I think streams are very like casual, right? And I think it could just be like a good way to just like talk, see what you guys are saying and all that good stuff, right? But yeah, you guys, yeah, it's been my first like Q&A in like a year. I looked back at the stats. I think it was like last year June, so it's been a long time, right? But yeah, you guys made it very much worthwhile for your like attention and time. Thank you to all the super chats. Absolutely crazy. Kyle, don't worry, man. Dinner's on you tonight. Appreciate that and appreciate all you guys. So on that note, I'm Qna FC. This is Beeline CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.